Jonathan Greening, congratulations. We'll come to your centenary of victories in a moment, what it means to you, but in the conditions today, what did you make of the match?
Yeah, I thought first half we started really well. The first 5-10 minutes, put them under a lot of pressure. Then we had a little 10-minute blip where we give them a few chances. We needed to keep the ball a little bit better. But overall, really pleased with the first half. Second half, I think the weather, the long grass, the swirly wind didn't really help. But we saw the game out, which was the most pleasing thing. Against a good team. We had chances to kill the game. Second half, I think we've had a couple of chances. I think Rio's had the chance where it was cleared off the line, and then he's had the one just before he got subbed where he's hit it over the bar where he obviously should score and make it a little bit easier for us. But listen, we're really pleased. Before the game, we said to the players, you've had 4 games at home, you've won all 4. The challenge to you is to get another win today and make it 5 out of 5, and they've done that, so I'm really, really happy.
Been well schooled in set pieces, and obviously the elements were in your favour in that first half. Great to have your captain back today after his leave last weekend and popping up in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, really pleased to have him back. Obviously, he's been a massive part of it since I've been here, captain of the club. Great header to put us 1-0 up, and I thought defensively he was probably our man of the match, or my man of the match, I would say. I think he was outstanding today. The striker who's up against is a big lad, hard working lad, runs the channels really well. He saw a few balls out of play using his strength. And, he's been getting better and better game by game. So really pleased with his performance. Obviously, he's got a goal. But the lads put a right shift in today. Listen, it's not easy out there today. Swirly wind, the rain, long grass. Probably didn't help in certain situations. And, we had to dig in second half. But, good teams have to do that. I think we showed a lot of resilience, loads of grit, last-ditch tackles, competed all over the pitch. I think there was a few dodgy calls, from the officials for both sides really in the game, which didn't help either. But listen, I think the first half performance probably got us over the line. We probably could have scored 2 or 3 in the first 5-10 minutes alone.
5 home wins in a row. It's the first time in this incarnation of Scarborough that has been achieved. What do you think's made the difference to put that run together?
I think just the boys' attitude. I've mentioned it a few times on here since the first day of pre-season. They've come back really fit, really strong, wanting to have a really good season. It's a successful season with all the problems off the pitch as well. We've sort of like used that as motivation for the players, to put that extra gear into place really to try and have a good season. And the boys have done really well since the start of pre-season. I think their attitude, their application is always spot on, and we just want to do well for the chairman and for the board and for the fans, and so we can go home next year in a good place.
What was you thinking when Tom Scott took his moment in the penalty? Well, I say took his moment. Whitley stopped him take his moment with that superb save.
Yeah, well, Witts made a couple of really good saves. That was obviously an excellent save, and he was probably up there with Will for probably a man of the match for me as well. His kicking was good, apart from one he had second half. But like I say, swirly wind. But he was outstanding, and he made that save at a crucial time, kept us in the game, because if they score that, they might get the a little bit of a bounce and go on and win the game. But listen, the second half performance wasn't brilliant. We defended really well. We showed loads of grit and determination, like I mentioned earlier. And we saw the game out. And, against a good team, I said in the interview with you guys on Thursday, I've watched 2 or 3 of the games. And, I really like them. They're a hard-working team. We've got some good players. And, we're really happy with the 3 points.
100 wins for you as a manager. How much does that mean to you?
Yeah, obviously, delighted. When I came on board 4 and a bit years ago, I was probably expecting to get sacked after 3 or 4 months, but still here, still trying. That's all you can do in life. But yeah, to get the 100th win is great. The boys deserve a lot of credit, especially the boys who have been with me since day one. Going up a league, proving that they can play at this level and do really well at this level. So, delighted. For the boys mainly, for Ingy and Jimmy and Blotty, who are obviously with me on the coaching staff, and hopefully we can get another 100 more.
Just finally, you've made 2 signings in the week. Zane Myers on loan from Hull City, Theo Chapman coming in as a free agent but former Barnsley man. How did they come about?
Yeah, we've been obviously, last week we only had 2 players on the bench. One of them was, half injured, but we had to put him on, which was Rio. So we needed to get a couple of players in the building just to, strengthen our squad really and keep players on the toes. Zane's a player I've seen for Hull City under 21s a few times. He played against us a couple of times in pre-season. Theo I know about as well. Tried to get him on loan a couple of years ago, so he was available. So, we got Theo in first. He trained with us on Tuesday, did really well. So we got him on board, and then we got Zane in on Thursday. So delighted, 2 young players who want to learn the game, play in a first team environment, a little bit like Wally did last year, really. And now it's up to them. It's like what I said about Wally last year. You need to come in, you need to show that you're willing to work hard for the team. You need to show that you're a good player and do it out on the pitch. It's all right doing it on the training pitch, but this is where it really matters. When there's fans, booing you and cheering you, and all the things that happen in a proper football game. So they'll get experience. Both good lads, and they're both training really well this year.
Cheers, mate.
All right.
Nice one.